Yeah, what's going on?
We're just discussing where's God according to the Bible.
What?
Not really.
We're discussing what about the Bible?
Where is God according to the Bible?
Hmm. Why do you call yourself God Logic? I'm just curious.
Because in First Corinthians it says that the wisdom and reasoning of God destroys the wisdom of the world, confounds the wise, the people who profess to be wise.
So, what is that reasoning? Is God's reasoning different?
Yeah, it's above man's reasoning. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't know what that means. That's why I'm asking.
Would you agree that God's wisdom surpasses man's wisdom?
In what sense?
In
That
it,
God
in
is
his
wiser than us?
yeah,
Yeah, of course.
yeah. So that's what the verse is talking about. That
Okay.
God's wisdom is greater than man's wisdom, and the world's wisdom it confounds the wise.
Hmm. Yeah. So, can you explain to us how your concept of God being a Trinity is logical? How it's not three gods?
No, 'cause we were talking about how the Bible describes where God is, and whether or not God can, if He wants to, dwell in a temple or not. If you wanted to come
Hmm.
in on that discussion, you can.
Oh, so you can't answer that question.
Well, I like to stay focused on one point at a time.
Do you guys have a problem with me asking that question?
Well,
God logic,
I'm
for
on a
No.
argument's
specific
sake, I
subject.
concede to you. I concede to your argument.
Well, that's fine. I'm the one making a case right here, Muslim physician. If you want to address me on the case that I'm making, then you can. You're not about to come in here
Well,
and
I
change.
wasn't I wasn't here, so I'm just asking you a simple question.
Well, I'm telling you that we can talk about anything you want after we talk about what I was talking about. Are
Yeah.
you interested?
Well, I don't really know the discussion. That's why I'm asking you my
The
question.
discussion
Because I
was,
was invited to the room. That's why.
oh, that's the mod's fault. Well, I'm just saying the discussion was on basically God's whereabouts according to the Bible, and I was also comparing God's whereabouts with in the Quran and in the Hadiths.
Okay, and what's your point?
No, you
What's your
weren't.
point you're
Yeah,
trying
I
to
was. So
make?
before you guys kicked Dodge down, I brought
Yeah,
up how he's.
what your point that you're trying to make is that God can become incarnate? Is that your point?
Well, he can if he wants. But my thing is with the question that he was asking about whether or not God can dwell in the temple if he chose to, and the answer is yes, according to the Bible. I believe he
Okay.
can do that in the Quran as well if he wants to.
Okay, so what's your point? He can do it according to the Bible, so what's your point?
Well, yeah, well that's it's as simple as that. And if they had a problem with that, they would have a problem with the Quran as well, since not only does the Quran affirm those scriptures that God can do those things, but it also talks about how Allah enters in creation.
Yeah, so your position or your argument is that this is the Bible's position, the Quran affirms the Bible, therefore we can't neglect or negate that position, correct?
Well, that's one aspect of it, but also I'm just going on what the Quran says, what the Hadiths teach, that Allah does enter into creation. So they can't, you guys as Muslims can't go against that.
Yeah. So the first point has been dealt with many times over, right? We can discuss what the Quran actually says. Does it even what does it address with respect to the Bible? What it doesn't. But this argument has been gone over many, many times, so I don't really think it's that interesting. And
It's interesting to me if you go against it. If you go
what's
against
that?
that idea, it's interesting to me if you are of the opposite position. I don't know how you as a Muslim can say or can go against that idea. You know what I mean? I really don't.
Go against
Based,
what? The Quran affirming the Bible?
yeah.
It's very easily it can be done. It's been done many times over again. But
You might.
you're just using tired arguments that really have no weight whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys mind if we or you my man you mind if we started another room with replays on?
What's
Because I
that?
feel like you mind if we start a room with replays on?
Bro, I'm right here. What's the problem?
I think that we're gonna have a pretty good discussion, and I want to save it.
So you can save it. You don't know how to record something on your phone?
No, you can't. I'm not allowed to screen record on here. It goes against the guidelines.
You can record, bro. There's no issue, man. What are you talking about?
No, it is because if I were to do this and like post it on my Instagram
Okay,
or something,
I'm giving you
it's weird.
permission to record me.
Okay. Yeah. So
So
oh,
what's
that's
the
that's
point?
good.
What's the problem, bro? There's no. I'm not a moderator in here. I'm not
I know. I'm just
have
saying
any
if we can
authority.
start it,
So
if we can start another room with replays, then I think that would be better. Especially it could be saved for other people to see and stuff like that.
yeah, but if you record, which I just told you, you can record me. Then you can
Yeah.
post it wherever you want, and anybody can see whatever
Can't
you want them to see.
I can't repost it on here though, bro.
What's that?
I can't repost it on here.
You can't repost it on Clubhouse.
Correct.
I mean, technically you can if you simply just create a room and play the recording.
That's impossible. Come on, Muslim Fisher. That's doing too much, bro. Let's just start another room.
What's the point? I'm already here.
To record it. I'm saying to record it.
But I just removed any obstacle that you could put up.
No, you didn't. I can't put it everywhere, bro.
Yes, you can. Where
Okay.
can't you put it? It's
All right, bro.
recorded. You can create a room, play the recording, and anybody can listen to it.
Bro, that's okay. All right,
I
forget it.
think you just don't want to discuss the topic which I originally asked
Why,
you because I
why,
don't think
why
you
would
have an answer to
why
it.
would I not why would I not want to discuss with you what
Because
I've literally
because
been recording?
you initially said you were talking about something else, and then when I explained what the argument actually is, I'm telling
Mm.
you that basically it's irrelevant to even talking about the incarnation. The crux of the issue is whether or not the Qur'an affirms the Bible, which you've spoken to Muslims about time and time again, right? So I want to have a conversation that I haven't heard you had, which is
Well,
how do you explain how the Trinity isn't three gods?
have
And I
you
don't
have
think you
you
can
have
answer
you
that
have you
question.
have you have you spoken to me before?
No, I haven't. Not that I
Right.
know of.
Right. All right. You've heard me speak to other Muslims?
Uh, yeah, I have a few
You
Muslims.
have?
Yeah, yeah,
You heard me speak about
yeah. I've seen
the
you.
Quran?
I've seen you, for example, speak to Sheikh Uthman. That's one
Okay.
example.
Oh, I don't think we went over like the affirmation of the Bible.
I know the argument, bro. Come on, I've been doing this
Okay, so
for a while.
do you have a refutation against that argument?
Yeah, I do. And I have videos on my channel about it. It's a tired argument. It's been played out.
Yeah,
I'm wondering from you,
I'm
because
here.
I never heard you speak about the topic of how the
Mhm.
Trinity is not three gods. And I don't think that you can answer it. And
That's
so that's
fine.
why
You just you can think, but
I suspect that you won't answer it.
Muslim physician. As I said before you went on this like little road here, that we were already talking about something, and if we once we finish what we're talking about, if you would like to engage, I have no problem talking about what you want to talk about.
Yeah, and
I respect that. So just because, but listen,
I'm
hold on,
telling you, I'm
just let me
here
finish.
right now. I'm
Yeah,
telling
just let
you,
me
I'm
finish.
here right now,
Yeah, you're here right now. Let's
and
go
I'm
over it.
asking you a question,
Yeah, we
and
can go
you're
over that
not
question
able
after you
to
answer the
respond
first.
to it.
You can say that all you want. Why don't you answer the first? You can say that
Because
it's a tired
I've already discussed this issue many times,
right.
right?
You've
And
already discussed the Trinity many times too.
there's going to be no additional information that you are
It's
going to provide me that I
but
have
it's the
not
same.
already heard before.
Okay, good. So it's the same thing when it comes to your conversation about the Trinity and the
No,
nature
because
of
I haven't
the
heard
Trinity,
your
whether it's logical
response.
or
I
not.
haven't heard your response.
You've spoken to Christians. I'm not going to give you nothing that you haven't heard before. You've had debates
Oh,
on
you're
this.
not? So then you're
So
not going to
so
be
it's
able
the
to give an answer then.
so it's the same. So Muslim position. I have now just removed everything
So you're not going to
that's an
be able to give
obstacle
an
for you
answer
to having a conversation.
because no Christian has been
So
able to
stop.
answer thus far.
That's
So are
fine,
you
and
saying you
that's
wouldn't be able
fine.
to answer
That's fine. And what I'm saying is no Muslim has been able to answer why the Quran affirms the Bible.
it?
Why are you running from that?
You mean why the Quran doesn't affirm the Bible?
Okay,
That's what you
let's get
want to say,
into it.
right?
Let's get into it.
No, you just said, I think you misspoke. But anyway, the point is,
I
it's
didn't
very
misspeak.
clear. It's
Why the
very
Quran
clear.
affirms the Bible.
Listen, it's very clear, bro, that you don't
Yeah.
want to have that conversation.
And it's
It's
very clear
extremely
that you don't
clear.
want to have this conversation.
I've had it many times. I have
Okay, and so
recordings of
and so
those
have I.
conversations
I
on
don't
my
we've
YouTube
never
channel.
spoke.
So that
Muslim position.
That disputes what
We're
you're
debating
saying,
about
because
debating.
I don't see any evidence that
Mhm.
you are willing to have the conversation that I am putting forward.
That's fine. We can find out.
But the conversation that you're wanting to put forward, there is evidence that I have no problem in doing it because I've done it
How?
time and time again.
Okay, well, I have streams where I've talked about the Trinity and the nature of God and how we believe on God.
Okay,
So
so
I can
let
say the same
do
thing
you have
about
a
you, Muslim,
stream? Do you have a
Muslim
stream? Do
Metaphysician.
you have a
Muslim
stream? Because
Metaphysician.
if you
Please hold on.
do, I'll go and
Hold
watch
on.
it. If
Hold
you
on a
do, I'll
second.
go and watch
No,
it.
yeah,
But do
yeah,
you have
yeah.
a
Check my
stream?
check my
Do you
check my
have a
streams where I talk
stream
about the Trinity,
responding?
the
Do you have a
incarnation, how
do
we
you have a
believe in one
stream?
God. I
Do
have
you
streams
have
on
a
that.
stream
My
responding?
thing is this, Muslim
Listen,
Metaphysician.
bro,
No, listen,
relax.
listen.
Just
We're
calm down.
debating.
I'm asking you a
We're debating.
question.
The good. We're
Because you just
debating
said you
on
have a
the
stream. You have a
bro. We're
stream on it.
debating
You
on
have
the
a stream on it. So
conversation.
now I'm asking you.
We've already wasted
Now
time.
I'm asking you, where
We've
is
already
your
wasted time.
stream? Where's your stream responding to the argument I just made?
So I have almost in every one of my streams, we deal with the Trinity because a Muslim brings it up. Same stuff, and how we believe in three gods, and we address that through the scriptures. How we
Okay, so
believe
what's
in
your
one God.
answer then?
So
What's your answer then?
we can get into that. I have no problem with that. Getting
It
into that
seems
after
like you
we
do have
interpret
a
our
problem
points.
with it.
Well, it seems like you have a problem with going over the first conversation.
No, because you haven't addressed it. You
Okay,
can't
so
point me
let's
to
go over
you
the
cannot
first
point me.
conversation. What's
I
wrong with you?
guarantee you right now, I guarantee you
Mhm.
right now that you
Yeah.
cannot point me to a single example on your YouTube channel where you're responding
I
directly
don't.
to the
I can
argument that
care
I'm
less.
making.
I can care less what you think. I'm not about
Exactly,
to jump
because
through the rabbit holes
you're
with you.
making
Do
the
you want to
claim.
have the conversation or not, bro?
You are making the claim, but
Muslim
yet you
metaphysician.
don't have
Do you
evidence
want
for your
to?
claim.
Do you want to have the conversation or not, bro? I told you
No,
already.
I told you that already. I
Okay,
don't.
then so let
I
me
told you
continue to
that.
talk
I'm
to
not
Yakub.
interested in that.
Okay, good. So let me continue to talk to Yakub.
No, no, you're not, because I'm asking you a question,
I
and
already answered. I already
you're
told
either
you.
going to have the
And I already
discussion,
told you what it
you're either
is.
going to have the discussion, or you're not. And if you're not, then you can
Yeah.
scram, bro.
Yeah.
Simple.
So it's either you can add to the conversation we were already having, and then we entertain what you want to bring up, or you can mute up and let me just return and talk to Yakub.
Yakub already told you he concedes to you, and
Okay,
that he's
good.
more
So then why
interested,
don't you jump? So why don't you jump in?
and that he's more interested in listening to this other conversation.
No. If he concedes his point to me, then I'm passing it to you.
No,
Can
yeah,
you
and I'm
answer the
telling you,
question for me?
and I'm telling you already that
Mhm.
I'm not discussing that because,
All right,
and I
fine.
already
We're
explained to you
we're at a
why. I
stalemate.
already explained to you why, and
Muslim
now I'm
metaphysician, we're at a
asking you
stalemate,
because
bro.
you are making a claim that you have responded to this time and
We're
time
at a
again
stalemate.
in your videos, and yet you haven't.
We're
You
at a
can't produce
stalemate,
a
bro.
single video for your
We're at a
claim.
stalemate.
I can
We're at a
send you
stalemate.
video links right now where I'm responding to the argument that you're making,
We're at
but
a
you
stalemate.
cannot show that because
We're at a stalemate.
you cannot
No
debate
problem.
this point. That's
No problem.
very
And
clear.
I think it's clear that you can't debate the point that your
Oh,
Quran
it's
affirming.
can't I can't because I
You
haven't
can. No, you
debated it
cannot. You
before. I
cannot.
haven't debated it before in formal debates and discussed it on my
That means
YouTube
nothing.
channel. I
Debate it
haven't
here.
done it. I haven't done it.
Debate it here.
Bro, you're not special.
I know I'm not. I'm nobody.
Sorry to
I'm not.
tell you. I'm
I'm
sorry to
nobody.
tell you you're not special. And the
You're right.
fact of the
I'm
matter
nobody.
is you're
You're nobody. I'm
claiming
nobody.
you have
I'm
God
nobody.
logic as your name,
So
but
step up to the plate. Have your discussion here.
your God is completely illogical, and
So is Allah. Your God is completely
you
illogical.
cannot respond to a
Your
basic
God is completely
argument, and
illogical
you have
and
failed
immoral
to
at that.
address it. You have failed to
Your
address
God
it.
is
You
illogical
have
and
failed
immoral
to
at that.
address it in any
For
capacity.
some reason,
So
he affirms books that he contradicts at the same
how
time.
your
How does
position
that work? How is that
explain
logical?
to me how your position
Can
does
you
not
explain to me
result
how
in
you're a
three
Muslim and you
gods.
don't believe in the Bible?
Explain to me how your position
Can
does
you
not
explain to
result
me
in
as a
three
Muslim why you
gods.
don't believe in the Bible?
Explain to me how your position doesn't
When
result
your
in three
Allah
gods.
says that you
You
should believe
believe
in,
the
I believe.
Father is God, the Son is God, the Holy Spirit's God. They're not
You
each
believe the
other, and there's
Torah is a
only one
revelation.
God.
You
So
believe the
can you
gospel is a
explain to
revelation. You
me?
believe the
So
Quran is a revelation. You believe the Psalms are revelation.
explain to
So why do
me
you reject that
how
scriptures?
your position
You're
doesn't
not ready
result
for
in
this
three
conversation.
gods. You cannot do it, bro. You're weak sauce. You've got no
Good. You're not ready for
argumentation.
this conversation.
You've got no argumentation whatsoever, and you're a waste of time.
Allah
And
promises to protect the truth with scripture.
you will never come in
Allah
any room.
promises to
You will
protect the
never
truth with
come in
scripture.
any room that I am
He
in.
promises to
You
protect the
will
Torah,
never
protect
come in
the
any
Injil.
room that I'm in and
Muhammad
speak to me about
swore
this
on it,
subject
said he
because
believed
you
in it,
cannot, you
and
have
you
nothing.
are
You're
better
claiming to
than
be God
Muhammad for some
logic.
reason, I
You're
guess.
claiming to be God
You're
logic,
better
but
than,
you
how are
have
you a Muslim
no
and yet you go against
argument
what Muhammad taught?
whatsoever, dude. You can't even
How
respond
are
to
you a Muslim?
explain
How you
how
call
your
yourself a Muslim
position doesn't
metaphysician when you
result in
go
three
against the
gods.
Quran?
Why should I listen to somebody who claims that there's
Astaghfirullah.
one God, but his position results in there being
Astaghfirullah.
three gods,
How
and
can I listen to
cannot
someone who
explain, cannot
claims to believe in
explain,
all the
can't
revelation
explain to
while at the
Muslims or
same time
Christians
not believe in
how
all the
he is
revelation?
not a polytheist worshiping
You
three
literally
gods?
walk on
That's
quicksand.
the point, bro. You can't
You
respond to the
literally
point.
walk on
You
quicksand. You
can't.
literally
You
walk
and
on
your
quicksand.
crew, all you do is
What
bring
crew?
up your, you and your little crew, all you
What
do is
crew?
bring up your PDFs and your little Sam Shamoon arguments that you ripped
What
off,
crew?
which have been responded to for the past 20 years. You
Right.
have nothing. You cannot
So your
respond to the
arguments have been
LPT and the logical
responded
problem of the
to.
Trinity, and you have no
Who
evidence
said you that you
whatsoever that
debated
you've
on
ever,
Ilya's channel?
you
Is that
have
still on
no
Allah?
evidence, you have
You
no
debated that
evidence
dude against
whatsoever.
Anil Allah,
You
and
have
you admitted
no
that the Trinity
evidence
wasn't a contradiction?
whatsoever. You have no evidence
It
whatsoever.
came out of your
You
mouth as the
have
fact that the
no
Trinity is not a
evidence
contradiction.
whatsoever, sir. You have no
Why don't
evidence
we run that clip?
whatsoever. You have no
You had
evidence
to acknowledge that the
whatsoever.
Trinity was not a contradiction in
Excuse
a
me. You
debate.
have no evidence
You did that
whatsoever
in a
in
debate.
any of your
So why would you
videos.
still want
You
to try
have
to argue
no
as if you admit it's a
evidence
contradiction
whatsoever in
when
any
you
of your
said the
videos.
Trinity is now no
Listen,
longer a
bro.
logical
Listen,
contradiction?
this is
You
what's
said
going to
this out of your
happen.
mouth.
This is what's going to happen.
You said it out of your mouth.
This is what's going to happen.
You said it out of your mouth, brother.
Either you're going to address the point or I'm going to
Hmm.
remove you from the room. How about
Or
that?
you can just kick me out. You
Okay, then
talk to
bye.
yourself.
Have a
Peace.
nice
Talk to
day.
yourself.
It's clear
Talk
that
to
you're a
yourself.
coward, that you
I would
cannot
love for you to
respond to the
talk about your
argument.
Quran
It's
and your
clear that you're a
Hadith and
coward,
whether
that
or
you
not you
cannot
affirm the
respond to the
Torah and the
argument,
gospel,
that you
and
have no
start owning up and
meaningful
standing up on
defense
your
to
book.
show how
I
your
respect the
Trinity
Quran
is
more than
not
you
three
do.
gods.
I
You should
respect the
change your
Quran more than
name.
you do.
You should
Alhamdulillah.
change your name from God
Astaghfirullah.
Logic to
May the
something
curse of
else
Allah be on
because
the
your
liar.
God is not
Lata
logical
Allah
and
on the liar.
you cannot
Lata,
respond.
lana.
You cannot respond. Sorry, sir, you moved to the audience. This guy's a coward. It's very clear. He's claiming that he's responded to the argument, but he has no evidence whatsoever on any video he's ever been in to clearly demonstrate that he's responding to the logical problem of the Trinity to show us how his Christian Trinity does not result in three gods. That's a clear challenge to Mr. God Logic, but his God is not logical. And I'm explaining how it's not. And you clearly cannot answer the problem whatsoever, but you want to spend time on a tired argument about, oh, how the Qur'an affirms the Bible. Come on, bro. We've been dealing with that for 20 years with these tired Sam Shamoon type of apologetics, bro. All you're doing is ripping off scared Sam Shamoon who can't deal with these points either.